What's up, Chomp Chomp? I think you're first a lot of the time. What's up, AK Games? What's up, eBack? What's up, Semjazz? What's up, CM Vampy? What's up, Micah? What's up, Arnon Thenix? What's up, Cointown? You're able to buy the legendary packs again. Is Fud's in trouble with money? Maybe. I don't know. Are you talking about like the I don't remember. Weren't there like some extra packs in May or something? Unless you're just talking about the module ticket packs, with the new banner. You spent 8k gems on the lucky banner and got 15 epics. I feel like that's not bad. That's probably like average, but like, are they the ones you wanted though? That's the real question, right? What's up, Blue Baked Beans? More coins per minute than your lifetime coins. There'll always be someone. I think that's just how it is for a lot of people. Like everything just scales, and like the people on top can just make like a ridiculous amount more compared to most of the other people. And just same thing with like doing damage and stuff. Finally got Ancestral Black Hole Digester and Pulsar Harvester, but was hoping for Amplifying Strike and Dimension Core and Orbital Augment to get them to Ancestral. Well, at least you got the other two, but yeah, I guess you'll have to pull more modules for those, so. You got 2 stars on your Astral Deliverance and 5 stars on your Second Dimension Core. Lucky Banner treated you well. That's good to hear, at least. I haven't pulled anything from it. I probably won't. So. Are your messages getting deleted? I don't see anything other than you saying what's up and that message, so if you sent anything else, then maybe, because I don't see them. I am on the live chat, so it's not like not the YouTube top chat thing. Not sure why, but what's up, Synapse? pulled 3 Primordial Collapse, so you have a Mythic for farming and Ancestral for tournaments. Got your G-Comp to 4-star and Shrink Rate to 5-star. I mean, at least you're making progress. You aren't getting like something you already have like a bunch of that you don't want, right? So at least there's that. You started wailing pretty hard to advance your tower. Should you max Chrono Field Plus before putting more into ILM Plus? Stuck in Legends Without Keys. Yeah, I'd probably do Chrono Field Plus first. It's really important. It's very, very strong. Definitely. That will just help with everything pretty much, so. I would definitely say Sia Plus. Asked about your age twice. Maybe YouTube doesn't like that question, but yeah, if you're wondering how old I am, I'm 23, so. What's up, Rubber? It's going pretty well. I seem to have found a working tier 22 farming build, so kind of just showing that tier today. Why don't you use Primordial Collapse for farming? I used to for tier 21 because I was using EHP, but it's pretty much useless for this tier 22. I'm not using EHP here. I did reroll my Harmony Conductor for farming, since that's really useful for getting through intro sprint. That's like one of the hardest parts of farming tier 22, I think. Getting through that consistently. Still not fully consistent on it, I don't think, but I think it's good enough. So, yeah. What's up, Arthur? Harmony Conductor is a thing now for farm. Primordial Collapse is obsolete. I mean, it's not obsolete. But it's really hard to use EHP in tier 22. It's possible. You just need a lot of investment. I would rather not. So I would rather use the Harmony Conductor. But if you're using EHP, it's still really good, the Primordial Collapse. So. Really wanting that last Dimension Core, your EHP but going to transition to Hybrid. Planning to get Super Tower Mastery after the next tournament. Yeah, that'll be nice, definitely. You guessed I was like 27. Yeah, I'm pretty young to play this game, so just in general. Farming with SD. Let me guess for ILM Plus. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just the inner landmines. I need the damage from inner landmines to farm this. So I wouldn't have enough damage otherwise. Like at the point I'm at right now, without the inner landmines, like the space explosion, I would probably be dead. Or like close to dying. Because Chain Lightning, this is about where its limit, like 3,000 waves for me. So the inner landmine gets me much further. Tier 22 farming is already as crazy. Is it a big jump in shards? It seems like for me about 25 to 30% more module shards with the waves I'm getting. So that's a very large amount, I would say. I think it's definitely worth it. And still getting pretty good coins. Like I'm still over like breaking 500 Q an hour sometimes. So yeah. What's up, Tags? What are the differences between tier 21 and 22? Well, of course, there's just the enemy health scaling and damage. It's they start much higher, so it's harder to farm. There's also 3 fleets every 10 waves instead of 2, so that's more drops from them. That's really the main thing that makes tier 22 worth it, I think. Like going to tier 23 if you had enough stats, I mean, it's good, but it's not as useful as this jump, so. What's up, Dark Archer? Gonna scoop up those tickets, or are you gonna pass this time? I'm not gonna get those. It's just too much. I don't really care for mods. I mean, I would like another Harmony Conductor, a second copy of that, but I only have one copy already, so that would be way too hard to do. What's up, Brad Ralph? What's up, Freeze Drying Maniac? You're full GC farming tier 19, moving to tier 20 very soon. Yeah, I think Primordial Collapse is probably still good, of course, for that. Like it was still really good in tier 21 for me, so. You started playing the game with 14 years. You like the Space Displacer over Orbital Augment for 20 and 21? Seems to help you survive longer. Yeah, I mean, if you have an inner landmine build, yeah, definitely. It's it will help you get much further, definitely, yeah. I agree. Only problem is it's like really hard to use like Ant Bot unless you have a super high amount of metals, so you don't get the echoing shot, but it is still good without that. I think it would still it still gets you further, right? So it's still good, but you're not gonna get like that insane boost you get in like a tournament or a milestone. So what's up, Grandpa? Have you increased your bounce shots on these higher tiers from 1 or 2? Yeah, so I'm using very high bounce. I'm using 8-meter range and 4 targets, and it actually has not affected my coins that much. I feel like in these tiers, the fact that like chain lightning is not going to do that much after the start helps a lot with this. Since it's mostly going to be inner landmine damage, and also the fact that just I need to be killing these enemies. Like, as you can see, they're already like stacking up a lot, like the tanks. Just killing them as quick as possible is good for the combos. Also, if you increase your landmine damage enhancements. No, landmine damage is pretty much useless, I think. How's your tier 21 versus tier 22 farming look, wave-wise and everything? So waves, with tier 21, I wasn't doing inner landmines. I was doing just like chain lightning. Let me see if I have any. Yeah, here's where my tier 21 was at. 8,000 waves or so average, close to 600 Q an hour, but I'm getting still like 6,000 average here, maybe a little bit higher than that. Still close to 500 Q, which is honestly a pretty good trade off for the shards, I would say. Thank you for the advice. Hopefully next time you're in your bracket, won't have as bad of a showing. Were you in my bracket like this recent time? Or like one other time? But yeah, hopefully I can help either way. I would say Chrono Field Plus is definitely the way to go there. How's the Monday treating you? Pretty good. It's just a Monday, but farming tier 22 is super impressive. You don't think you'll get there in at least 3 years? Yeah, it depends where you're at. I think a lot of people could probably start getting here in like a few major versions. Probably. but depends where you're at already. If you're not like even close, then yeah, it'll probably be a while. How much attack speed is needed for Pulsar Harvester to be good? Oh, probably like 80 to 100 at least. Probably around there. I don't know exactly, but there's probably someone that knows a better answer, like an exact answer, but... Why anti-Q portal over orbital augment? Mainly just for the damage near the end of the run here. Just helping me get a lot further. The anti-Q is really strong in just a regular tier like this, so... Two tourneys ago. Well, I join at that exact same time every tournament. If you would want to join my bracket again, I don't know if it was good for you or not, but... Did you pull mods already? No, I don't think I'm going to pull from the Lucky Banner. It's not worth it for me. I'd rather use my gems on rushing labs or just saving them, I think. As I don't really want that much from modules. The only thing I would want is another Harmony Conductor currently, but that's not going to happen. I only have one copy, so I don't think it's going to be worth it. Use Pulsar with 110 attack speed per over the other gens now as your assist for tourney. Yeah, I think at that point, definitely. Yeah, it's very strong. Yeah, it's really good in tournaments. Do any recent milestone runs for the new tiers? Not compared to last time. I still have, let's go. Let's see. Got that on stream, and then just still have the 28, 27 in tier 24. That was an extremely good run, so. Do you have any mods that aren't 5-star? I have one, but I'm doing that on purpose so I can hoard them the restorative bonus. I have a huge hoard of them right here. Whenever I'm forced to shatter them, I'll get a bunch of generator shards. Or if they add another generator, like a new generator, then I can switch to doing this with that one probably. And get all the shards from these restorative bonuses. Is BA the go-to cannon for farming now with Amplifying Strike? Honestly, I'd probably say yes. The damage is, it's not going to do too much. Like, it will be useful for farming, right? Like, you're going to get further, a little bit further with the damage. Kind of depends on what your assist stuff looks like, because I prefer, in tournaments and milestones, I like Amplifying Strike and Death Penalty. But if you don't have like a high rarity on the cannon, there's a chance that using your Being Annihilator would be better for tournaments. But otherwise, you'd probably just want to use it for farming. So that's like what I'm doing pretty much. The bracket was not good for you. There were like 6 #1 legend top placers in that bracket. Once you get more CF plus. Yeah, that's unfortunate then. I guess don't join at that time again. How much is the multiplier? Here's my coin molt. I assume you're talking about that. You don't have enough restorative bonus modules. Yeah, I probably don't. I probably need some more. Probably right. Not enough. Gotta pull mods to get those numbers up. Yeah, true. Funny thing is, I think in the lucky banner, let me see. I think the odds are, oh no, it is still 50%. I'm kind of, or no, yeah, it's the same. It's the epic chance. I forgot. It's not like increased for these at all. Yeah. I thought for some reason last time that it didn't have, like, it didn't count the ones that you don't have 5-star, and it just was the same chance for all of them. But maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. At least this time it's not. So it still counts the 4-star. What's up, Flipstar? Is the jump from tier 16 to tier 17 4,500 milestone a big jump? Include tier 16 with 4,500 doing attack diso. I'm honestly not sure. I assume it would be because tier 17 has tanks ultimate compared to tier 16. I would say it probably will be. The addition of that can be really hard, I think, even though the duration's pretty low. What time do you join so I can avoid it? I join exactly 9 minutes after the tournament opens. So like right at the start. 9 minutes after. What's up, the penguin? You have all modules 5 stars. Going to use the event. I assume that's just the banner to get your farming DC. Any other module that benefits significantly from a separate farming and turning module? Only things I have seen use for a second one is, of course, yeah, like you said, Dimension Core. I can also see Primordial Collapse. That can be useful for farming to have a second one. And then Harmony Conductor. Those are the main ones. Potentially Amplifying Strike as well, but that's like, you don't like need that at all. I mean, it would be nice, but those are the only other ones that I've personally seen use out of having a second one. That's some epileptic music. Came in last place in the last Legends tournament with 230 waves. Nah, I mean, that's unfortunate. Not even worth the try at that point, I guess. But well, worth a shot. There will be a point where you can like have a chance to stay in, probably, right? So, what's up, Rob? By the time you shatter those, you'll be at 270 on both, and they'll be worth like 1 level. Yeah, probably. I was thinking about that, but like, I don't. You know, it's fine. I don't mind. What's up, Study Mage? Have you pulled for the banner yet? No, I'm not gonna pull the banner. I don't really care for modules. How many shards is it to level one of your mods? Depends on the module. A lot. So for this 24,000, but most of my modules, the ones that I actually have like leveled together, 18,000 for this one, 21,000 for this one, 19 here. So anywhere between like 15 and 25,000. Your guess is like 15,000 shards. Yeah, pretty close. A little bit higher than that, but a few of them are close to that. What's up, Genzors? Think they'll add new mod levels? Maybe at one point. I don't think we need them yet. It's gonna be when the top players get close to 300 probably. Think the game is predatory enough to release a new mod closest after the lucky banner? Probably not. I think they probably will. If they're gonna add new modules, it'll probably be version 29. I don't think they would just randomly release a banner like without an actual update. They typically don't do that, so I would say we got at least a month until V29, probably. So. That's probably the earliest time that we would get something. Are mod effect bans worth it rather than farming tons of reroll shards? I mean, they definitely help. Yeah, I would probably work on the bans. They're really good. I don't think they're gonna like completely make it so you don't have to like try to get more rerolls, right? But unless you're farming like really high tiers, 20 and 21, might have to farm reroll shards outside of regular farming. I would probably say even with those bans, but they do help, I think. Yeah. You were thinking post version 29 as well. Also, your birthday is Wednesday. Well, happy early birthday then, Study Mage. You're pulling the banner because you still need the modules. Yeah, I mean, if you need modules, a very good time to pull modules, definitely. Farming tier 21 to 400k an hour. You probably won't need to farm extra rerolls outside of that, right? Unless you're talking about that's your reroll farming specifically, not your like coin farming. If that's your coin farming, you should be fine. But if that's reroll farming specifically, yeah, you'll probably need to do that more, even with the bans. Yeah, the bans aren't going to completely like make it so you don't have to do that. They will help though. How many medals do you have? I think it's, I don't think I can see here, can I? Yeah. It's close to like 165,000 probably now. Probably close to that. Need your black hole digester. You got one, but still need 2 more for your ancestral. Well, hopefully you get that. That would be, yeah, that's like a very important one. I think the stars, getting those stars on or not even stars, so you need ancestral still, yeah. At least ancestral, right? That's huge, yeah. For black hole digester generators specifically for farming. But even the stars as well are very good for generators. Got 88,000 gems to burn, but have all modules 5-star. I mean, if you can spend them if you want and try to get a second copy of something, but no clue if it would be worth it. What's up, Dr. Trashbag? The banner is crap. 6k gems for 3 epics. Yeah, that's seems like kind of bad luck. That's unfortunate. Farming reroll shards, yeah, it's not gonna like fully prevent you from having to do that, but it will be helpful probably. Those labs, they will help. Yeah. Is cash mastery worth it? I think endgame it becomes very little. It gives you very little rerolls like endgame when you're farming. Like these fleets drop so many rerolls, but if you're not at the point where you're killing a lot of fleets, then I think it's pretty good for more reroll shards, definitely. Just know that at one point it will probably become fairly useless, but thanks for answering your module question. Yeah, no problem. Is Fortress Mastery a wasted mastery? Plan to get 152nd wall rebuild with module and power tree. It's still good. I think it's good because you can't actually get the 150 seconds without it, I don't think. I think it's pretty good if you're working on getting your wall rebuild lower. But I think there's a lot of other masteries that are probably better than it. Need 3 black hole digester and 5 orbital augment to get ancestral. Pulled 10k gems and got 25 epics. None of what you needed. 2 armors that you already have 5-star. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Really wish we had like a way to at least get some of the module you want, right? How expensive are the fleet labs for me? Want to know your current coin sinks? I don't think they're that expensive yet. Let me see. 40 big Q, that's pretty much nothing for me. But I mean, that's a lot for like a lot of people, right? But for me, that's very little coins. They will probably get up there though for mid price in the later levels. Aside from Dimension Core, are there any other mods that you think are worth having a second copy of? Main ones I think are Primordial Collapse, Harmony Conductor. Those are the main two. Amplifying Strike potentially as well. Those are the main ones. Your luck was amazing. DMs, let me see. One second, let me... 3 epics in one pull right there. They didn't look like they were super useful though, right? It's like a negative mass projector. You're getting some pretty good stuff now, actually. Yeah. Yeah, towards the end, you got some good stuff there. Yeah, it's not bad overall. If global presets are coming, no need for a second copy, right? I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. We'll have to see how they work. Now that you finally got Ancestral Black Hole Digester, you'll have to run some tests to see if your 4-star Galaxy Compressor still does better for your main generator versus Ancestral Black Hole Digester. Yeah, if you're probably getting to that point where Black Hole Digester might become better. How come you aren't using Orbital Augment? Using Anti-Q Portal instead for the damage. I think the damage multiplier is a lot better for the end of the run in this. You love Fortress Mastery? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty nice. How do you defend against vampires at a beginner level? I think the main thing is the Garlic Thorns. I think that usually deals with them. Tier 2 Wave 1000 milestone. I think that does a pretty good job, if I'm correct. If people have told me, one they have told me is correct. There we go. That should, I think that should, it does make sense like that it would kill them. Kill them pretty easily most of the time, I think. Main thing is the recovery package. Yeah, also the recovery package just to have time to get the Thorns damage on them. Is Epic Orbital Augment for assist worth it at all? You never use the module and feel like it would be too inconsistent without Ancestral? Probably not, yeah. I don't think it's really worth it until like Mythic. When you make the switch from EHP to hybrid GC, which tiers to avoid / skip because of the battle conditions? I don't know if there's any specific tiers to avoid. Depends where you're at. I mean, like, for like super early, it depends when you switch. I don't think there's any specific tier to skip. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. Do you know if the lucky banner is accurate with 4% odds? You yourself didn't get lucky, and here a lot of people were complaining about the luck. Yeah, I have no clue. Not sure. I haven't pulled it myself to see. I'm not gonna pull it, so I have no clue. I assume it is, but I mean, there's always a chance it's not, right? But fact of the day: project funding when. I don't know if I'll do module ones. I really need to continue the module highlight series. I haven't done every module. I think I did do project funding already there, so I don't think I would make a fact of the day on that. I still have like 8 or 10 modules I haven't done for that series, so. Maybe I could like, I could do fact of the day on every module again, maybe. Just cause it would be more updated. Maybe, I don't know. How far along would you have to be before package recovery becomes better than the wall regen? I think it will be a while. Like, it's fairly late game where that happens. I think regen will be good for a long time. I don't know a specific point where it becomes better, but it's fairly far along, I think. You proceeded to spend another 5k in gems, and you got another 13 uniques. Gained a couple stars and made negative mass predictor ancestral before you could do so with black hole digester. Yeah, seems like you're doing pretty good. You're getting pretty good luck with the epics, so that's pretty good. Trying to improve in Legends performance. You're struggling with fleets between 1,000 1,100 waves. Is that a sign of needing more damage? I mean, potentially. Like, more damage will help, right? Kind of depends on what kind of fleet. If it's overcharge, probably need some EHP. If it's like something like commanders, either need more damage or more like CC Chrono Field plus. Kind of just depends in that case. We got a lot for 4200. Currently testing Mythic G Comp and we'll compare with Black Hole Digester. Can you show your Econ ultimate weapon cooldowns and durations? Wondering when you should switch out MVN and or Galaxy Compressor. You're farming tier 19 to weigh 5,500. I'll show you what I'm at. So let's see. I have 100% substat efficiency for these, right? The core. 1 cooldown, substat, 2 duration, so I'm almost permanent. Not quite though. Black Hole, I have a duration substat to get me the 100%. And I'm missing 2 clicks in the duration normally. And then Death Wave, I have every substat, everything max for quantity cooldown. So, no, I don't think you need that much though. You need probably at least like 1 of each substat. You've missed the module series? Yeah, I started that one in like September, like last year, and was making videos for it all the way up until like March. And I just haven't not made a video since then. I really need to either finish that or like do a modules for fact of the day or something, like something related to modules probably. Wonder what people would want more. If I finish that series or if I did fact of the day for modules. Just do one for each module, like updated kinda, you know? I don't know I feel like it would be hard to fit like everything for the one module in one fact of the day. Guys, those videos are like 3 to 6 minutes, right? So it would be hard to fit everything, I think, into fact of the day. You can't figure out project funding scaling. I talked about that in the video. I don't remember when I made the project funding one, but it was at one point that I have a playlist with the module highlights, I think. Your friend got 0 epics from 1500 gems, and you got 2 epics from 2500. Yeah, it's still like a ton of like luck. Even though it's a higher chance, you still gotta get lucky, right? So, I think the only time I would pull modules if they made the epic chance like 10% or something. Makes you nervous about pulling the banner. Maybe on several people on Reddit got 2 to 3 epics in a 10 pull. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier to get like those huge pulls when there's 4% chance, right? But they're still not going to happen that often, honestly. For 2S lifetime code player with mods leveled around 195, main 180 assist, is it better to focus on shard farming on tier 20 and lose like 40% coins, or better to keep coins farming at tier 19? Module shots per hour almost 2x. How many waves are you doing in tier 19? It's kind of tough. That would be really nice to farm modules. I don't know if it's worth it yet though. If I were you, I would work on damage. Trying to like push the tier 20 as soon as possible and make the coin loss not as much at least. But it's really close to that point. Like that is a lot of extra module shards. It might even be worth it to do tier 20 at that point, but it's a tough call. But yeah, if I was you, I would work on damage and stuff just to try to make the tier 20 better, because that would be huge for you to switch to for farming. But if I was in that situation, I would probably stick with tier 19 for at least a little bit longer. Your luck was 5.56%, 25 and 9k. Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. Please finish the module series. Yeah, I just need to like, I need to like make like one video a week for it or something, or one every 2 weeks. I don't remember what modules I have left to do. I need to make a new orbital augment one as well, since my old one is the old orbital augment. So you got 4 epic in 1 pull with this banner and a couple 3s. 4 is huge. Yeah, that's really nice. Let's see the perks. I restarted the game before the stream, so the perks are out of order for what I got them in, but this is what I have. What's the best place to sign with multiplier and subset efficiency for assist mods? Assuming that are all at 1%. So you're saying that you're starting at 1%. For the best value, I'd probably get, assuming you use damage and you have them all unlocked, core and cannon to like 15 to 20% is a good stopping point for the multiplier, just to get the just to get some damage. The damage value is really good for those early levels. Core substat is like you almost want to permanent that. Like it's insane. Same with like generator substat. It's also huge. Not quite as important as core substat though, I think. Gen multiplier is also pretty good. Probably like 20% for that as well. Armor substat, I probably wouldn't work on it for a bit. It's good, but the other stuff's better. You'll search for them? Yeah, it should be. I don't think they're too hard to find. Should be the playlist. What are you spending your gems on? Currently, I'm not really spending them that much. I'm rushing some labs. That's pretty much it. Just rushing a few labs. But I'm not gonna like spend all of them or anything, right? So. Trying to solidify yourself in Legends, you have Chrono Field +2, Damage Mastery, Super Tower, Demon Mode, Ultimate Crit, and you're gonna get Zerk. Then should you swap over to assist mods, or what do you think would help out most with that little info? It will probably be Chrono Field Plus or assist modules. It depends where your assist modules are at. I think getting your Chrono Field Plus up could be better next, potentially. Like get that to at least 5 to 7 probably. What's up, G-Fuzz? It's going well. Is there a higher chance for module drops in higher tiers? No, so the thing is, you get a lot more module shards from the fleet drops. The fleets have a 20% chance to drop module shards. So 3 fleets every 10 waves, you get a lot of extra module shards from that. And they drop a lot. Like if you get into the later waves, they drop like 25 each. Whenever they would drop. That's a random one of the 4. So yeah, it's huge for module shards. Moment you get a full 10 pull is the moment we go on strike against T22. What free up chances do you have? Let's see. A little bit over 300 on these. I think this is 2.15 free up enhancement. So also, after 12 mil reroll shards spent, you got your ancestral CFs. Nice. It's pretty good. At least you got it. You drop 17k to try to get 2 DC to make your farming Dimension Core 1-star. We only got 1. That's unfortunate. I mean, at least it's progress, but yeah, that's... At least you got 1. Unfortunately, you weren't able to get the second one, though. TF Plus is better than ever now. Definitely recommend. Yeah, it's really strong. It's very good. Should you do TF Plus before Berserker Mastery? It's probably close. I'd probably do Berserker Mastery first to get the lab going, assuming you have the lab space. If you don't have the lab space, I'd probably work on CF Plus until you do have the lab space for the Berserker Mastery lab. But I think in general, you want to give masteries first, just so you can get the labs going. Is Harmony Conductor mischance have for fleets as well? It actually isn't, so it still has the 30% chance for fleets. It's very good for them. What do your enhancements look like? Let's see. So can you like spend coins while you're in a run now? On these. It's like gonna, I don't want to click it though, but it looks like you can like spend your coins while you're in the run. Interesting. I mean, here's what I'm at anyways. A little bit over 5 on these, just 3 at warp size, 3.52 coin bonus, 2.15 free ups, 3 in cells. That's insane. Yeah, the free ups are like much higher than, we can get them a lot higher than we used to be able to. You can't? Oh, okay. Maybe I should try it then. I want to see. Whatever. I don't want to. I want to upgrade my coin plus next, and I don't have the coins for that. So. You're doing the math for. Can you guys hear me now? I think my internet went out for a second. Okay. All right, where was I at? I don't know what you heard when I was answering or reading your question. But yeah, I think gem rushing is really good now. Just in general, it becomes better a lot earlier because of the gem rush efficiency. Doesn't mean it's the same for everyone, yeah. Insane enhancements and even more insane coin cost. Yeah, it's a lot. Stuff's expensive. How's this run doing for coins? Let's see. Getting close to 400 Q an hour. It's about average for this point, I think. So. What's up, Nova Sky? You track your progress with something like Project and Rent? No, I don't. I don't really care for like tracking progress, stuff like that. What modules are you using on the top right? Let's see. Being Annihilator, Amplifying Strike, Space Displacer, Anti-Cube Portal, Black Hole Digester, Singularity Harness, Harmony Conductor, and Dimension Core. Those are all the substats for those. What's up, Karaya? You have GT Plus and Chrono Loop, GT level 5, Chrono level 4. What do you think you should get before getting to the third? Should you up their level a bit before moving on to a third Ultimate Weapon Plus? You can maybe work on them a little bit more. I assume you use damage. If you use like damage, there's a chance Spotlight Plus, you could probably get that pretty soon. Spotlight Plus is really good with, as long as you have the range mastery with it. You need to get both of those. But it's a lot of extra damage. Get a Spotlight Plus and then a level or 2 extra with the range mastery, and you're pretty much good to go for that. You don't need much else. Huge damage boost you'll get from that. So it'd probably be that next, or you can maybe do a level or 2 more into Chrono Loop or GT Plus. Kind of up to you at that point. I think either option is fine to do next. If you want to focus on Econ, you can do GT Plus at like 1 more level or 2 more levels before doing the Spotlight Plus. Chrono Loop could be good to get to like 5 or 6 as well, though. But definitely would be Spotlight Plus for your third Ultimate Weapon Plus. So no orbital augment for farming. Yeah, I would rather have the anti-cube damage, so I'm using Space Displacer for the inner landmine damage, and then anti-cube for the extra damage multiplier. So yeah, I think this is probably the best for farming, this setup. The anti-cube and Space Displacer. For me, for my build specifically. Surprisingly enough, your path sheet wants you to do Spotlight Plus level 5 soon. You thought it wasn't that good of a gain. I mean, it's still pretty good at that point. It's still good. So it's, let me see. What level do you have now? Level 5 would be 0.06. I mean, it's like, depending on what level you're at, if you're like Spotlight level 4, it's like 20% more damage or something. I mean, that's like a good amount of damage, but it's still good, right? But yeah, you're at 4. Okay. Yeah, it's like, I don't remember how many stones it is, but that's like 20% more damage. That it's probably the best ROI for damage at that point. At your point, I would say it probably makes sense. It keeps getting worse and worse ROI, like heavily scaling for the ROI being bad. But I think you're still at the point where you get some decent investment or decent returns from upgrades. What's up, Christian? You're split between saving for a permanent black hole and unlocking Chrono Field as 4th Spotlight. Potentially, I don't know. It kind of depends where you're at. Like what, Depends how how close you are to like perma black hole. How close are you to perma black hole? That's the main question. Like, what is your current uptime on that? That'll help answer the question, I think. It's 860 stones. Yeah, I feel like that's not bad ROI then. That's pretty good. I mean, 20% damage for 860 stones is not bad at all. Oh, Christian is here. Everyone be on your best behavior. Yeah. Everyone's gotta be on their best behavior while Christian's here, I guess. Yeah, I mean, he will time you out if you say something about EHP. Alright, well, my internet's having problems today, unfortunately, like usual. But I think I'm fine now. Think it's worth it to try to get a second harmony conductor with the lucky banner? Are you saying specifically for me or just in general? In general, it just depends how close you are, right? For me, it's not gonna be worth it, I don't think, because I'm not even close to one. Just kind of depends how close you are to getting another one. I only have one copy, so yeah. Don't think it would be worth it for me, personally. You guess unlock Corona because of the labs. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. In that case, I mean, perma black hole would be good if you're close. I don't know how close they are though, right? So, but I'm thinking Chrono Field just to get the lab duration lab going. That would be like very useful probably for the future. Yeah, but it's probably between those two. $4,000 stones till perma black hole. Yeah, that's kind of far away. If you want to prepare for the future, I'd probably get the Chrono Field unlock and start working on the duration lab. Just perma that lab completely. Have it going just so you have it ready for the future. That would probably be the best thing you could do. It won't help like in the short term, right? But definitely a good long-term play, I would say. What level should your primary mods have before starting to level your assist? I don't know. What do people do these days? Do they like... Do you try to like at least have 161 on your modules? I don't know exactly. Probably at least have... Wait, which subset is that? Let me see. I think that's the 6th slot. Yeah, 6 substats. Yeah, you probably want at least 181 or so, or like 180 on your primary, just so you can put some levels into the assist without losing that 6th substat slot. Actually, probably like 170 to 180 around there. Oh, you'll have your only copy of rolled for farm? Yeah, I re-rolled my Harmony Conductor for farming. Cause it's very useful for this tier. Getting through intro sprint, it helps a lot. So I think it's worth it. Whenever I decide to do like distant runs and stuff again, I'll probably re-roll it back just for like a few days. But I mean, I have an insane amount of rerolls for that, so I still have like what? Yeah, I almost have 500 million again. I don't think I actually ever hit 500, but it's just you get an insane amount by farming these high tiers. What's up, Tabito? Have you changed your shockwave size since the last update, or still rocking 1.7? I'm still on 1.7. I don't know what's like good though. I haven't really like. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I think it's fine still. Just 1.7. It's. Hopefully you can hear me again. What I was saying, I don't know what you heard from what I was saying, but just pushing the enemies to the edge of the orbs pretty much with this. That's kind of what it was doing before. I think it still does that now. So it's definitely enough to hit fleets now, of course, because they go in a much closer now compared to before. Tell you if the glass cannon is better than hybrid. Depends what you're doing. Really high tiers, I think glass cannon will be a lot better probably. Hybrid can be is good in like some of the not like it's still in like the higher tiers, not like the super high tiers. Like 17 through 21, hybrid's pretty good. Also in tournaments, hybrid is very good. So it kind of depends what you're doing, right? So you think around 150 to 161 is when you want to start leveling the assist? Yeah, it might be a bit lower than what I said. I'm honestly not sure exactly, but just whatever you can do to keep the 161 on your primary while having some levels in your assist, probably. That's probably what I would say is good. Plan to do Disso for 22, 23, 24. Maybe we'll get a percent or two from that. Yeah, I haven't done the attack yet at all. I mean, it's really not worth it, I don't think, for the new tiers. I mean, I'll do it at one point. I'll get like 70 waves or whatever, right? But it's just not super worth it to like do immediately, right? So I think 20 and 21 it would be worth it to do attack and ultimate weapon on again though. So I will probably do that at one point, since I think I should be able to finish tier 20 attack now. And then you get further on tier 21 attack. But I'm not very focused on like distant runs, like getting small extra boosts. I don't think it's just mostly pointless, I think. Like as long as you have all the Echo Labs and you've gotten pretty far on a lot of the stuff, like it's not gonna be that much more stats just to do like a few tiers. What do you use for tourney now? If your other core, if you're using HC for farming, either Primordial Collapse or Magnetic Hook these days. I used to use Harmony Conductor for tournaments, but I don't anymore. So happy to reroll it for farming. I might have to re-roll my Magnetic Hook again, since I actually rolled that for farming just to test it, see if it was good at all. Didn't really change. That didn't really like change anything compared to Paramenductor or my Primordial Collapse. So I'll probably have to roll it back if I want to use it for something else. You can have at least 1 mil rerolls. Yeah, that will do a lot for a lot of people. 1 mil, it's a lot. You currently have them all at 178, and the next subset is at 201. You also only have the assist mods unlocked, since you first want to get into some damage masteries before starting to put stones in assist. You could potentially try to get 201 before you do assist stuff. I don't know, kind of depends what if you would get there first or like finish the masteries you want first. Kind of depends, but that could be nice just to get to that 201 and get to the substat before doing assist, just so you have the 7 substats with the assist stuff. But yeah, it kind of depends. What's up, Xpree? I'm doing well. Was getting all, I think, so thanks. Yeah, no problem. Welcome back, Study Mage. Use Prim C for tournaments or something else? Yeah, I think I'm kind of liking Primordial Collapse more for tournaments, probably. Magnetic Hook in tournaments is like very battle condition dependent, I think. You need a lot of you need heavy bosses. So you need like Basics Ultimate and Boss Ultimate probably in a tournament for Magnetic Hook to be good. Because in like Fast Ultimate as well, maybe. So like that first tournament, for example, we had when 28.3 came out with it was like Fast Ultimate, Basic Ult, Boss Ult. That was a really good Magnetic Hook tournament, I think. Right, because you're getting so many extra mines from those bosses, but otherwise, if you're just killing the bosses like before they even get to the range line with the orbs, there's really not going to be that many extra mines you get. It's just going to be the one fleet, and then like elites every once in a while, which is not that much. So I think overall I like Primordial Collapse more for tournaments. Assist. What are you saving gems for now? Either future updates if we get something new with gems, or just also using some of them on rushing labs. What's up, Rex? Tier 23 farm when? Give me like 100x damage or so, or a little bit more than that maybe. Then I'll try it. I think it's more than that. You'd actually need way more than that. You need like 1,000, 10,000 times more damage to make it viable, I think. Well, Green, I think we've tried it all at this point. For what? What have we tried? What have we tried all of it for? Did you notice a big coin gain after you maxed generator or multiplier efficiency again? Yeah, I did. I don't know. So it was the coins I gained. So I did that max, and then also the extra levels in the enhancement. 45 levels into that, I think. Both of those upgrades together took me from, what was I doing before? 280 to 290 Q an hour to like 550, I think. So that's like almost double. I mean, not quite double, but 35 to 40% more coins. Unsure how much exactly the Gen Emmy gave me. It should be around 30%, I think, right? Just from the math, but what's up, Sang? Quick assist mod question. You're a wave 900 legend with 210 main, 161 core mods. When do you start investing stones into? What is the sweet spot for main sub efficiency? For core, for substat efficiency, or are you talking about multiplier efficiency? Let me see. Multiplier, you probably want to get into like 15 to 20%, and you can get very good value out of that. I'm not sure exactly about the levels. You're probably about ready to start investing in, I would say. Not sure about the like module level specifically, but probably a 15 to 20% multiplier, and probably work on the substat is really good as well. I would really work on that. I think trying to get that to 33 is a good point, or 34. You get another death wave quantity. You can get a multiple things from doing that. So that's what I would say. Lock health to 0. Yeah, I just have it locked to 0. I don't think it does anything, but whatever. Why not? Just to make sure I have 0 EHP to get Death Defies, but I don't think I would be able to tank anyway, but doesn't matter. No OA for farming tier 22. Yeah, I'm using Space Displacer, anti-cube, just damage. It's just pure damage, pretty much. Space Displacer gives me huge inner landmine damage. Anti-cube just gives me the huge multiplier on top of that. I think it's definitely worth it to do that, for me, at least. Because I can get pretty far with just the damage. What am I at now for coins per hour? 408 Q. Not bad. I'm gonna quickly use the bathroom. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. How does the vault look? Are you close to maxing it? I mean, I've just been saving keys, I'll be honest, but 615 keys. Pretty much just like the only things I've left, like damage, critical chance, super crit here. Then these 2 clicks, that's like all I would want. Pretty much. I could probably do that right now, but I'm not gonna do it. I guess like health as well, but yeah, there's really not much left for me. I'm just hoarding my keys, so not much to do for me. It is possible to tank overcharge with tier 22. It's just, you need a lot of resources for it that I would rather not use. Yeah, I don't think the lock on the health is necessary at all. I just do it first for safety. It's probably useless though, so yeah. If you want to go into Inner Landmine Plus eventually, would it make sense to go into Spotlight Plus and Range Mastery first? Or just dive straight into Inner Landmine Plus? You're trying to decide your third Ultimate Weapon Plus since GT Plus and CF Plus are both around level 10. You definitely Spotlight Plus first. Definitely. I don't think it's close. Spotlight Plus, Range Mastery. Get the Range Mastery going. Spotlight Plus 2 or 3 levels at least. That's what you will definitely want to do that first before Inner Landmine Plus. What's up, Jeff? You start farming tier 19, you get around 3,000 waves, 1 queue in 2 hours. Should you go back to tier 18 for a while or stick it out? I'd probably do tier 18. I don't think that's enough waves to make it super farmable. I would probably stick with tier 18 until you can get to around 4,019. You probably need around 4,000 waves. That's like the minimum, I think. Yeah, Spotlight Plus is definitely the best, third best Ultimate Weapon Plus, I think. Island Plus also needs Ambot Plus, yeah. Actually, I'm interested, tags. So you farm with Inner Landmines to help you, right? I assume you don't have medals to use Antbot for farming, or do you have some investment for the Antbot and the Antbot Plus? I actually don't know how many medals you have. Yeah, I can show what my bots are at as well, because I had to invest some in Echoing Shot. So I have my Ant bot in a decent spot here. 10 Echoing Shot, 8 maximum power. I think this gives me 6 extra hits for Inner Landmine, which is good. I'm currently working on, I want to get Ant bot duration maxed, because I think that's important for intro sprint, the Ant bot duration. So yeah. If you're low on Death Wave, enemies hit by, what is the biggest lever here? Damage increase, more waves, or lowering cooldown? I think the main thing is actually not killing enemies super fast. Making sure you have low enough stats to give the enemies time to get hit by Death Wave. I think the main thing is like the scatter children, because they lose the Death Wave coin bonus and orb coin bonus after they split the scatters every time they split. So if you give them just enough time to get hit by Death Wave between shattering, right, or splitting, I guess, then that's the main thing that will help get your Death Wave bonus up. So lowering bounce shot stats, like 1 target 2-meter range, right? So you don't use Ambot Plus for farm because you have bot presets. Use Gold Bot and Bot Sync. Unlocking Bot Plus will ruin your Gold Bot setup. Yeah, that's what I assumed. Then you use Ambot and Bot Attorney. Yeah, that's what I assumed. So yeah, that's good to know that it can, like the inner landmine's still good. Or I mean, it's not like as good, of course, but it is still definitely viable without Ambot Plus. Just definitely a lot worse. But yeah. You run Gold Bot max, but a little plus. Ant Bot totally maxed out, but bonus at minimum. Bot totally maxed. Flame Bot cooldown range maxed. Yeah, I think that's kind of similar to what I have. What you mean by farm setup is you don't want to spend the metals to unlock Bot Plus, which means less metals into Gold Bot and Bot. Yeah, that makes sense. The ILM def does help with against tanks. Yeah, even just like using them for like the CC against tanks is nice, yeah. Think you have around 74k medals now? I think honestly, I mean, that's a solid setup what you have with 74k. Could you do a new updated video about modules? Are you referring to like module tier list or just like a module video in general? I do want to kind of either do fact of the day on modules, like each module, or continue the module highlight series. I'm not sure which one I want to do, but something for modules. Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully work on stuff in the future for modules, because I think it's been a while since I've done module stuff, module videos at least. New guild season next week? Oh yeah, that is true, right? New guild season? Interested to see what we get. We'll have to see. Module tier list seems to be outdated since your last video. Yeah, I think I want to do one every like version or so, every like minor version, every few. It is probably about time to do another one. When was the last one? Yeah, it's been like 3 or 4 months. Could probably do another one. That would probably be a good thing to do. How consistent is your tier 22 setup? I think the waves and coins are pretty consistent. The problem is the intro sprint is not as consistent as I want. I think it's consistent enough, but I think I still have some problems with the intro sprint sometimes. It's really hard. Intro sprint is the hardest part of the run, I think. when you're trying to farm a tier that's like you're not like it's harder to farm than like a previous tier you were farming recently. Getting a setup to get through intro sprint consistently is like one of the hardest things to do. Hold your gems, new modules are coming for V29. We'll have to see. Yeah, I'll probably try to stay around 20,000 gems, maybe a little bit more. Try to get to 25, maybe somewhere around there. What levels are you with Inner Landmine Plus and Inner Landmine Damage? Inner Landmine Plus 11 now, and then 2209 damage multiplier, which is just that's base, just the stone upgrades. Got some wild cannon mod luck. You have 5-star Astral Deliverance, but only Mythic Plus Amplifying Strike. Running AD primary at 201 with CL as your main damage. Which subsets do you think are mandatory to get max damage output? For Chain Lightning, I think main things are... So you want Critical Factor probably. I assume you have Spotlight Plus, damage per meter, Critical Factor, damage per meter. I probably do Critical Chance, Super Crit Molt, Multi-Shot Targets, Bounce Shot Chance. That's 7, I think, right? Those are probably the best. You need to learn to hoard gems so you can use them in special module events. That would be helpful. Yeah, I mean, like hoarding at least some. Like you don't have to hoard like a huge amount, but if you know there's an update coming in like a few weeks or something, you could start hoarding gems just a little bit. I think that would be good for a lot of people to do. I think you've solved the intro sprint issue, but you'll share it later to try to see how it affects things. Yeah, that seems really good. The setup you were talking about, consistent intro sprint with Poison Swamp stun off. I'm still having trouble with that, I think. So yeah, very interested to see what you did. I did turn off Poison Swamp Plus. I think it helped a little bit maybe, because there's a chance I was killing the enemies too early, like their basic enemies, but I don't think it affected too much. I mean, in general, I seem to be getting through it fine, but going to pull Lucky Banner and then save for V29. Still need OA, Amplifying Strike, Dimension Core, Singularity Harness. That's your last modules to get Ancestral. Yeah, probably that sounds like a good plan. That's probably like what a lot of people would do probably. Just pull Lucky Banner until you can't, then just start saving, or yeah, at least save some, right? So aren't you using the range card anymore? I am using it. 43.5 meter range. Have it here. Attack speed. Attack speed subset is only. I mean it becomes worse like the further you get in the game. If you have attack speed mastery, you probably don't want it. I don't think it's as useful as the other substats I mentioned. Hard to hoard gems if the newish player with rotating relics. Yeah, if you're like new, you can't really like hoard. If you're earlier in the game, especially with the new relic stuff, it's a lot harder now. But if you've been playing for like a few years or so, It's a lot easier, definitely. Or at least like a year to 2 years, probably. Can't wait for 4 S plus tier relics tonight. Well, we'll have to see, I guess. Hopefully they're good. I bet a lot of people are waiting on that enemy health level skip relic. There's that one we got like a year ago, a little bit more. That would be huge for a lot of people to get. If that ever comes back, I assume it will. Well, yeah, that was a really nice relic. I remember that. Think what you figured out will get me through 100%. It's increase your coin. We'll have to find out how it affects yours. Yeah, that would be really useful. If it'd get me through every time. I'll ask you about it after stream. I'll have to try that because after this farm run, probably. I don't think I'm gonna stream the full farm run here, but this is the general gist of the farming. I'll probably end in like 30 minutes or so. Seemed like 30 meters to you? Yeah. I tried 30 meters a bit. 30 meters does help with intro sprint, it seems like, but it's a lot less damage. I got a lot less waves with that. So. You're missing like 50% lab speed in relics as per paths. Oh yeah, that would be huge to get those. Just over time, get all of those. That would be very helpful. Yeah, that's a lot of lab speed. Definitely. Your waves go much further than you. I think you have 2 more clicks in Inner Landmine Plus and 2 more damage. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty heavily invested in Inner Landmines now. Like, this is like the most I've invested into like damage for an ultimate weapon. Like one single ultimate weapon, I think. I mean, maybe Chain Lightning. I have very high damage on that as well, but I have really good investment in both the damage and the plus. So, definitely helps a lot. Should a mid-game player go for Perma CF or Perma Black Hole first? You've already invested 400 stones into Perma CF, since you only have Legendary G-Comp, compared to Mythic Black Hole Digester, which synced with a heavily upgraded Golden Bot. It's kind of tough. I think most people do Perma Black Hole first. Perma CF's really good though. I mean, if you're willing to have the Chronofield Duration Lab going for a while and work on the Chronofield, that could potentially be better than the Perma Black Hole in the end. Perma Black Hole is good for farming though as well, of course, right? So it's kind of a tough call. Think second wind or ultimate crit is more valuable for higher tier farming. There's not enough slot both. Not enough to slot both. I think probably ultimate crit. Like, that's a huge amount of damage. It's ridiculous how much damage ultimate crit gives. I would say probably that. Is there anywhere you can see your total lab speed bonus, or do you need to manually count it up? I don't think there's anywhere in game you can specifically see. One thing you can do though, go on like Sky's lab calculator, find a lab and what level you have a current lab at that you are researching. Look at the base time for that, and then compare it to the time for yours, for the exact same level of the exact same lab, and you can just get a general gist of how much boost you have from that. That's typically what I've done if I want to see that. But you can also, in that lab calculator, you can input your stuff. I don't know if that will tell you an exact boost though, but yeah, something like that. You max seal on plus and now often turn off plus. Yeah, I think a lot of people, also answering Tax question here about CL plus for tier 21 farming. Most people use it off, I think, for at least tier 21 farming. I know a lot of people have it off. I've personally always had it on. I think it does help like kill some of the fast enemies quicker, just to keep the golden combo up. But it is worse for bounce shots if you rely on chain lightning damage. But with like an inner landmine setup, it's not as important, I don't think. So I personally like it on. But I think either way, it's not going to make a huge difference for farming, probably. I mean, it's nice, but it's not very important, you know? So... You got a tower ad, should you download it again? If you want to. Maybe just play it for like a week, see if it's fun. It's not, just don't uninstall it again or whatever, but... Permanent black hole for tournament requires modules till much later on. Same issue goes with ILM for assist mods. CF, on the other hand, just takes 1 to 2 core subs. I feel like CF is like, it's mostly just stone dependent and lab time dependent, not like module as much. Like specific module type, I mean. Like substats, of course, you'll need that for it, but... You farm reverse Devo in tier 16 currently. Is that's still the way to go, or are there better strategies with the more recent updates? I'm honestly not sure. I don't really know anything about like lower tier farming these days. You would have to ask other people that are closer to that level, because I can't really say from experience. I can't give you an accurate answer. Yeah, ultimate crit is ridiculous. How good that card. It just keeps getting better over time. The more crit factor you get, the better it is. You notice that golden bot range can't be larger than the tower diameter. Is that true, or are you tripping? It can. It's just dependent on your bot range. So there's bot range in the vault. There's bot range relics. Also, singularity harness will give you more bot range. It's just kind of dependent on that stat. Golden bot also, like, the bots scale with tower range as well, so you have to account for that. But it can definitely get bigger than the tower range. Like, for example, here mine is way bigger than my tower range. My bots. you can at least get all the relic bonuses and stuff added together. Yeah, that is true. You can get those together and probably do the math to figure out your bonus as well. Think your max lap speed or is the new tier from 20 and above give any lap speed? Yeah, 21 gives lap speed relic, like what Avonica said. You would have gone with perma black hole if your G comp was mythic. Currently equipping your G comp lowers your coin multiplier by 100. You also have no gen trying to pull for more G comp. Yeah, that makes sense then. Do you think it'll be possible to farm tier 24 in the future? Or is it just way too strong? I mean, eventually, probably. Yeah, it'll probably be possible to farm it, yeah. Not right now, not even close. Tier 22 is probably the highest people can farm right now. Efficiently, at least. This is not fun to watch. You're farming at 50 coins per minute. This guy's farming at 10 big Q. The coin difference is huge. Just for like how many coin multipliers there are in the game. Late, like end game, you can just get. There's so many more ways to get more coins. It just like scales super exponentially. You're hesitant to switch things to full damage because if it does not work, you have to revert everything and maybe cannot even do so without many presets. Yeah, I think that can be rough sometimes, that situation. It's only Ambot though, Gbot is not. After watching it, you're so far behind. Yeah, like I just said earlier, it's like the game just scales so exponentially. Everything there's so many things that just multiply together in this game. What's up, Flez? You were farming with Black Hole Digester 30 meter and now G-Comp at 90, and your G-Bot is in both cases covering tower range. Yeah, it's because that is because the it will scale with your range, the bots. But yeah, if you get too high, like Aiden said, I think it does scale past 120. I think it's not as much though, like it's a lot less. So the coverage gets a lot worse at the really high ranges. Make your lifetime coins in seconds. 30Q lifetime coins over here. Yeah, that's an insane difference. If I could, I'd give everyone in the chat a minute of farming. Or at least like a second. But unfortunately can't do that, so. Wondering why you'd max the defense distance runs on your glass cannon. I'm not fully glass cannon. For this farming specifically I am, but in general I use hybrid whenever I can. So I still do use the HP some places. So yeah. Also just nice to like have the extra health for that, right? And nice to have the happy I got tier 22 defense done as well. Do you buy stone packs when available, or do you let some pass? I've been buying all of the stone packs recently, so I think for the last like year and a half at least. When we come to the stream, the music lets you think you're at the local casino. Yeah, I can see that. I can see this kind of music being like a casino or something. What was your highest tier 21 coin per hour? 590 or something down here. 587, that looks like the highest run. Yeah. You'll respec G-Bot and put those medals into duration and bonus. I mean, the range is still good. It just doesn't... It like depends what range you're at for how it scales, right? I think range is always good still. Does farming at 30 meters and with no bounce shot chance, locked at 0, only makes sense for a damage setup? Or also EHP/hybrid? I don't think that would do that much for EHP specifically. For a hybrid, yeah, it would be about the same as glass cannon. For EHP, the only reason to do that would be to make it so you don't knock the enemies back too far. But yeah, that's mostly just like glass cannon or hybrid. Can you give me 24 hours of farming then? Asking for a friend. That's a lot of farming time. How much is that? That's like, let me think. That's like probably like 11S coins right there. Just run as high G-Bot range as possible. Yeah, that's what I would say. Range is very important, I think, for the bots. When using a creator code, we should get rewarded with 5 minutes of their farming. That would be really interesting, actually. But that would just be like everyone will just use the code where they get the most coins. So that would be like no one else would use like other codes. That would be funny though, either way. What's up, Rody? Any recommendations for tier 19 attack disso? You can get tier 18 to 5k and can't pass 500 on tier 19. I think that one's a tough jump just because of the fast ultimate. That's like the main thing that's probably killing you. I'm not sure anything specifically. Might need a little bit different of a setup. I don't know if you saw my attack distant video, but I think that's still pretty accurate. I talked about tier 19 and up there with the fast ultimate. I don't even remember exactly what tips I gave in that, but I think that video is still pretty accurate. Main difference is just all the fast enemies will be hitting you, since the ultimate battle condition for the fasts. I mean, the main thing is really just more EHP. I think that's really it. I mean, why is that it's not using all that extra range? It is using so it will give you more range no matter what. Upgrading that, it's not like it's gonna cap your range at all. It will just increase, like the higher your tower range, the more bot range it will give you. But upgrading that range stat will still give you more bot range no matter what. It's not like it's like hard capping it at a certain amount or anything. Do you have all rounds running at 8x, or is that too much? I'm at all 7x right now. I could run an 8x if I wanted, like 1 for like sometimes, not like the whole time, but 8 is really expensive. I can fairly easily do all 7s, so I'm fine with that. I think that's definitely good enough. Using bot and flaybot helps on attack disso. Yeah, definitely. Those are the main things pretty much for that. It depends on how many medals you have. Attack disso is I think it's very dependent on your medals, honestly. That's what I would say. There's like a few things that are really strong with medals for the attack distance. Just get more EHP? Yeah, pretty much. That would incentivize players to purchase more with getting rewarded of 5 minutes of their farming. Yeah, that probably would though, yeah. That is true as well. You'll take a look. You start investing in HP Mastery, Defense Mastery, and Defense Percent Labs in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, those should definitely help, I think. Here's me struggling with enemy health, and here's Greeny. I mean, everyone was there at one point, you know? Everyone was at that point. Even if they're ahead of it now, you know? So. Damage is still not mandatory to kill fleets in the proper setup. No way anyone has enough damage to kill a fleet at 3,800 legends. I mean, you still do need damage. So in that specific case, you can use stuff to lower their health enough to be able to kill them with damage. So I use Pulse Harvester and Orbital Augment to lower them all the way to being able to kill them with ultimate weapon damage. So technically, yes and no, kinda. Yes, you do use the damage, but you use a lot of other tools to lower their health, like a ridiculous amount. The fleets don't like those labs you're doing. Yeah, I would be mad if I was a fleet. I'm just making them weaker. They're probably not happy, definitely. Would you look at the time? Work is done. Nice. Yeah, fleets are like, you have to get to a certain point to be able to see fleets. But once you start to see them consistently, they will ruin your day probably for the first time experiencing them. Does attack ship target fleets now that they are targetable? Or is this still the issue of there always being 10 enemies at less current HP? I've heard multiple things. I've heard that it can't target fleets. I've also heard that attack ship can target fleets, but it doesn't actually kill them. It will just divide their remaining health by a half or a fourth. I'm honestly not sure which one's true. But I do not think that attack ship can fully kill fleets still, either way. From what I've seen, I would say definitely not. It's not a problem that there's 10 enemies that are less HP. It's just that I don't think it can kill them at all. Happy he who doesn't counter fleets. You'll get there one day, and then you'll experience the fleets at one point. Got a good attack ship and never saw it kill a fleet. Yeah, I don't think you can fully kill, or like get the last hit on fleets and kill them. I don't think you can. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it could actually like divide their health. I've heard people say that, so that would make sense if it could. I would have to watch. I could probably fake test that. Slow down the game when I have a fleet that's like super low health and watch if the attack ship actually like hits it. But I haven't really paid attention to that, so. Fleets are like adulthood. When you're not there, you want to get there, but once you are there, you want to go back to childhood. Pretty much. That's a good analogy, yeah. Dividing health ain't enough. At least it's something. Right? But yeah. I'll probably end the stream in like 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not going to finish this whole farm run. This will probably be like another hour and a half. I think this is about average for coins. This might be a little bit lower than average, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. Not sure. I think I'm usually a little bit higher at this point. Maybe? I don't know. having helps of fleets means nothing. For me, it's actually really useful in tournaments if it does, just because of how fleets work in tournaments. But yeah, it's not gonna do much in like milestones or regular tiers or anything. I should probably test that sometime though, like see if that's actually true. What's up, Ashoka? What does bot increase for flame bot? I can show you. Let's see. So, it will increase the damage reduction, right, of the flame bot. So the max currently, like with just the metals, is 95%. Bot, the way it works is that I don't remember the exact math, but it will put the bonus in like an exponent or something. I don't remember exactly. It will do something. If you have the bonus at 2x, it will take the flame bot damage reduction from 95 to 99.75%, which is a huge decrease in the enemy damage, how much they'll deal. So it's like 20 times less damage that they deal. So, right, I think that's like 20 times more EHP technically. As long as you hit in both bot and flame bot. So it's a huge amount, very, very large damage reduction there. Would you share with us how much have you spent on the game? This would probably 15 to 20,000 probably. I could probably do the exact math and figure it out, but that'd be a lot of work. Most of it's just from stone packs, pretty much. You've been playing a little over a month, but I have landmines and chrono field ultimate weapon. Should you restart your account or can you recover? I don't know. At that point, it's kind of tough. I mean, that might be too long to quit. It's kind of up to you. If you spend money on stone packs, then you could probably recover fairly easily from that. But if you don't, I mean, if you're willing to put in more time, it might be better to restart. But I mean, that's a lot of time you put into the game, right? If you bought anything, you'll lose those. You will lose the what am I thinking, like the purchases and stuff, right? So it's kind of up to you. Nice. You also thought it helped with the damage portion. Yeah, no, it helps with the damage reduction, which is it's very useful. Yeah, really good. Yeah, Flez, it's like it like multiplies the 95% twice if you have the yeah, that's how it works. It will just do 95 and then 95 again, I think. If you have the 2x mult, so 400, yeah. Should be an IRL cash spend stat in the menu. You would have thought you'd flown by that 15 or 20 now if you actually tracked it. And maybe. You might be right. I don't know. That would be interesting stat, though, yeah. The life-changing money from where you're at, where you're from. It's fair since you're heavily invested in the game and been playing for years. Yeah, I've been playing for like 4 years almost at this point, so. What's up, Noah? Tomorrow you'll probably have the final ultimate weapon. Guess what? Smart missiles probably. Or is it gonna be something important in like, yeah. Is it gonna be like black hole or something? I would say probably smart missiles or poison swamp. No, that would be my best guess. Can't double a reduction because it goes from 95 to 190%. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could. I mean, you could just like do it. Would be like if you doubled it, it would be like 97.5. But I don't know how the math would work for that. So yeah, that makes sense. They also wanted to add like a lot more ways to reduce the enemy damage as well. I think so. That it makes sense that they did that. So. Bot multiplicity does 80x HP. Well, that's just for the regular bot. It will give you whatever your damage reduction is, and then multiply that number with an exponent by your bonus. It kind of depends. It depends what your stats are. It depends what your flame bot damage reduction is at. It depends what your bot bonus is at. And then, of course, you also need the consistency to be able to hit that. Hit the enemies with Flamebot while they're in bot as well. What's up, Loaded Inches? You have 3 Death Wave quantity with mod substat, and you're trying to decide between more Death Wave quant or third spotlight. Out of those, probably third spotlight. Yeah, I would agree. Third spotlights probably will be better, I would say. $460, not bad. I'm really happy that this build can keep the coins up near the end of the run, because it is starting to get to the point where the enemies have a lot of health, and I'm still getting pretty good coins for now at least. It might lower in the future, but. Kind of what you were thinking, just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I would say that's probably the best thing to do. It's 1 minus 1 flamebot reduction, then bot bonus exponent. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Yeah, really strong that they did it like that. Makes it a lot stronger than if it was just like double the reduction. All right, I'm gonna end the stream in a few minutes here. So, any last things anyone wants to say or ask, then do it now. That's why you're doing so good. Yeah, if you have the investment in the flame bond stuff with the bot, yeah, huge amount of EHP you can get from that. Very strong. When's a good time to start picking up multiplier efficiency for assist mods? Once you have like most of the basic masteries, probably, or all not basic, like the important ones. I mean, if you use damage, like damage, demon mode, super tower, berserk, ultimate crit. Those are the main 5, probably. Also, some of the econ ones. Probably a good time to do it around there. That's probably around a good time to start working on the assist modules more. What's up, Richard? How's tier 22 for me now? Pretty good. It's actually going really well. I'm able to farm pretty good coins. Definitely also getting enough waves for the shards to be significantly better than tier 21. So I'm really happy with my setup right now. Only problem is intro sprint is a little bit shaky, it seems like. So it's the only problem I have with it right now. Do you think ILM and echoing shot interaction is too good, or is it fine from a game balance perspective? I mean, I think it's way too strong, I'll be honest. It's like ridiculous. I think it's way too strong, but I don't think they're probably not going to nerf it. So I've fully invested into Interland Mines and I'm using it because of that. $885 tickets and 12,400 gems. Later to pull a single black digester, but at least it's ancestral now. Yeah, at least you got at least one, right? So you can get the ancestral. That would have been really unfortunate if you didn't get one. You have all mods ancestral with most, and most with a few stars. When is the moment going for max out mods? Still missing card slots and have to buy the weekly relics to get gems, or with gems. So you feel like it's not worth it? If you have everything ancestral, it's probably not worth it yet. I would say, yeah, I would agree. Probably just want to get most of the relics first. Likely gonna buff other stuff instead of nerfing ILM. Yeah, I would say that's probably what they're gonna do. I would agree. Or we'll get a lot of ILM hostile battle conditions. Honestly, there's not that many battle conditions that are like really bad for Interland Mines. I think they're pretty good like all the time, honestly. You bought it until you got it. That's the only thing you're missing. Yeah, that might be hard to get another one then if you spent that many to get one. I mean, it's just complete luck, right? But do you think adjusting at this point the ILM and Ambot would be considered bait and switch? Yeah, that's the main reason I don't think they're gonna nerf it. That was kind of the same thing that happened with like the distant coin bonus stuff. Kind of similar to that. But if they did the Interland Mine at this point, that would be like a way bigger deal than that. And with the amount that people like were unhappy with the utility distant bonus thing, I don't think they would do that. I do not think they're gonna nerf it at all. Because there's so many people that have invested in Interland Mines because how good they are. All right, I'm gonna end the stream here probably in a moment. We got 6 mods to 5 stars, so it should be easier to pull going forward. Yeah, hopefully. So yeah, I'll end the stream here. Pretty much just showed off my farming setup. Not sure what I'll do next week. I don't know if I'll do, no clue if I'll do anything farming related or like anything else. No clue, honestly. But I guess I'll just have to wait until then and see if there's anything that I'm thinking about doing that would be good for a stream. So yeah, definitely will be live next week though. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream today. Hopefully I was able to answer any questions well. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. So yeah, see you guys next time.